Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Kel Myrick with theeasiestbusiness.com, also with vinylhingecovers.com. Welcome to lesson 2 of starting your own paint company. Now, I will say that this lesson encompasses more than just paint. This will kind of work for any trade, any handyman business, anything you do on the side, lawn care, painting, gravel work, landscaping, uh, carpentry work, etc., etc. But this is all about generating leads, and more specifically, generating free leads using social media, but more specifically, Facebook. So, like I said, I work for myself full time. Uh, I own my own paint business, and I just work solo by myself. I've hired people in the past. A lot of people in the paint world have a lot of issues, so I've had a lot of trouble keeping good help. Um, but that's neither here nor there. So I just work for myself, but I stay busy year round, and I make $60,000 a year just working for myself. And I get to be my own boss, and I get to take days off, and I get to not work weekends, and I get to go in when I want. Um, Most time I work 8-hour days, 5 days a week, so 40 hours a week. But I got that peace of mind, and I can't be fired. So the only person I'm responsible to is my clients. So let's just jump right into it. Generating leads. Lesson 2 of my e-course, starting a paint company from A to Z. Generating leads. So obviously, free leads are the best leads. Free leads is what you want. That's what you want to go after. You don't want to have to pay. You can pay and make Facebook ads if you want to, and you can have success doing that. I found out that paid ads are better for selling products rather than generating leads. Now, you can generate leads on Facebook. That's fine. I've done it before when I first started, but I get 99.9% of my business off of Facebook, and I do it for free. And there's a couple ways to do that. I'm going to tell you both in this lesson. Social media is obviously your friend. If you're going to get if you're going to get leads from something, then you want to treat it right. You want to take it seriously. My biggest lead generator is local city groups. So I would find the biggest city next to me. I'm in Alabama, but let's just use, I don't know, Miami, Florida, um, for an example. So I would go on Facebook and I would type what's happening in Miami. And most likely there's already a group for Miami. But let's say wherever you live, you might live in some obscure place that, a ton of people don't live in comparatively. I would type in what's happening in, and then it'll pop up all your local cities. And at least in my area, and I've done some other research, I know other areas do this as well. They have these Facebook groups that you can join. And in my area, every one that's, within an hour's drive of me has 20, 30, 40, 60, 80,000 people in these groups. And these groups are specifically used as almost like help forums. People ask, oh, where can I find a good real estate agent? Where can I find this? Where can I find that? And I can't tell you, there's 2 or 3 times, 4 times a week, sometimes more, where people are on there specifically saying, can anybody recommend a good painter? Can anybody recommend this? Can anybody recommend that? And it's every trade all day. I see, oh, I need a lawn care company. Oh, I need a handyman. Oh, I need a carpenter to build me something. And you'll have people on there tagging their friends and recommending people and things like that. You really want to get into these Facebook groups, and you want to, I know it's kind of counterproductive to be on your phone all the time, but you want to be checking those pages once an hour. I mean, you want to join them. You want to be refreshing your Facebook feed once an hour, really, to check for what people are asking, because time is of the essence. And we'll go over that in the next slide. But if there are none of these groups near you, then you need to be the one to create it. If you have a decent population size anywhere around you and there's not these Facebook groups around you, you need to create it. There's massive potential, especially being the ones to create it, because if you're the one that creates it, you set the rules for the group, and all the ones around me, real estate agents, created them. And every time you go to the group, the cover photo is of the real estate team or the real estate agent. So every time somebody clicks on that group to join it, they see that contact information for that agent. So this could set you up, big time, as far as getting free leads or having people come to you rather than you have to go to them. So if there's none around you, you create it, because there's a ton of potential if you're the one that owns the group. So time is of the essence. You need to be making first contact. And I'm going to show you a couple sets of messages in the next slide that how I reach out to people on these groups when they ask these questions. So time is of the essence. You want to be quick. That's why I said once an hour, maybe once every 30 minutes if you're, if you can remember. What I do during the day is I'll go and paint a few walls. I'm waiting on something to dry. I'll pull out my phone and check it. Excuse me. It's 10 o'clock at night and I'm tired. But so yeah, time is of the essence. You want to be the one to make first contact. You don't want to wait on somebody to recommend you, especially if you're just now starting out. You may not have that luxury. People may not know that you even do whatever kind of work you're doing, whether it be paint, carpentry, or whatever. And especially if you haven't had any clients yet, people are going to be hesitant to recommend somebody they've never seen their work. So the way I approach it, and I've been very successful, I land most of the jobs where I actually get to talk to people, and I'd say 90% of the time, if I can get a potential client to read my message, I can get out to their house and take a look at the job, and I'd probably say I land probably 65% of everything I go out and look at. That may be a little low, 65-70%. I would say if I go on 7 out of 10 bids, and talk to the customer and build relationships with them, or if I can get to their house 7 out of 10 times, I'll close the deal. And I'll have a video on that later. So if you want to subscribe, go ahead and do that. I don't know if I'll put that one out for free. I'm building this entire course. Some things I'm gonna have to hide behind a paywall just because I feel like it's the information's too good to just be getting it out for free. But stuff like this, I can give you guys free samples of, and hopefully you can learn something and use this to your advantage. But so you want to comment first. So when somebody says, "Hey, can I recommend, or can anybody recommend a good painter?" What I do is as soon as I see that, I'll say, let's say their name is John Smith. I'll say, John, comma. I'll say, I am PMing you now, and then just leave it at that. And then if you'll look at the next slide, this is kind of what how I approach basically everybody as far as how I word my initial message to them. This guy's name was Ryan. As you can see, this we're not friends. I live in Alabama. This guy lives in Luca, wherever that is, Mississippi. And this is screenshots I took from something that happened just the other day, 2 weeks ago. Just went back on my messenger and took these screenshots tonight. So I said, Ryan, I'm the president over at Affordable Painting Solutions. That's the name of my company. If you'll get me a count of the doors and drawers, he was asking for a cabinet painter. I said, I'll shoot you an informal price over Messenger. When I get home tonight, I'll put together a formal quote for you. Please let me know. Thank you. So basically, you want to come in and introduce yourself. This guy has no idea who you are. You want to give your company name, establish credibility. And if it's cabinets, you can do it over the messenger. I prefer to see all my jobs in person if I'm painting anything but cabinets. But cabinets, most of the time, you can get a good price from a door and drawer count. And that's also something I'll have in a course later, and I'll go over exactly how to do that. But just for now, know that when you establish your credibility, who you are, this is kind of the line I feel like gets them with cabinets is it's really easy. I don't have to set up a time for you. I don't have to do anything special. You can either send me a picture or you can just count up, the number of doors and drawers, and I can get a quote. And of course, he said, "Hey, Kale, I'm sending the pics of the kitchen." He said, I thought it might be easier to put together a quote, with pictures. And I would also want this island painted as well. Then we went back and forth. He was asking about materials and the processes, and you just got to be ready and prepared to answer questions from potential clients. So if you're in business for yourself, you need to know what you're talking about. If you don't do all the work yourself, if you subcontract it or you have people that do the work for you and you just manage the people, you still really need to know what you're talking about. You still really need to be in touch with your field processes, because customers know when they ask you questions how you answer them, because they're asking these questions to everybody, and the person who makes them feel most comfortable, that's who they're going to go with, because they don't know me from the next guy down the street. This is a job I'm actually on right now. I'm finishing up tomorrow. He posted on Facebook, "Hey, I need a painter for a commercial space," and I sent, "Hey, I'm PMing you now." And I said, "Tina, I'm the president over at Affordable Painting Solutions. I'd be more than happy to come give you a quote sometime this week at your earliest convenience." And I also have picks and plenty of references upon request. Please let me know if you're interested. So it's typically, if it's cabinets, the hook line is, hey, I can give you a quote right now, and we don't have to waste any of your time. I can go ahead and tell you what my number will be, and then you don't have to worry about it if it's too high, or you can ask me all the questions you want, and we don't have to waste any of our time coming out there and seeing the site only for you to go with somebody else. So it's really convenient for both people. And then when I do quotes for like actual painting, walls, doors, frames, like interior painting that's not cabinets, I always tell people that, the hook is always, I have picks and plenty of references. Um, you know, or maybe not necessarily all the time, but a lot of times I will put that in my messages, like, hey, I have pics of work I've done and I have references upon request. That's establishing credibility because you're putting your name out there. You're putting your neck in the guillotine. You're saying, look, this is what I've done before. I can make it happen for you, and I can give you the names and numbers of people that you can call and ask about my work. And nothing converts better, in a sales funnel than social proof. You got to think about in your life, are you gonna just go buy something because somebody references it on the internet? Maybe, but maybe not. But if your best friend, if your brother, if your mom comes to you and says, I got this new product that I've tried out and it's revolutionary and it's amazing and it's life changing and yada yada yada, you're gonna go buy it because you trust your friends, you trust your family members for the most part. And so it's the same thing with a service. If they say, hey, we love this painter, that's who you're going to call when you need paint work done. So the references and the pictures, people love the before and after pictures. They say, wow, what a great transformation it is. And they just love to have that visual of, this is what my place could look like. And I'm on this job. I got this job. I'm finishing it and getting paid for it tomorrow. So, like I said, if I can get out there, I'm like 90% confident I can land the job. I just need to get out there. So, so for the two kind of successes, now let's look at an example of me being turned down. So do we leave it at no, or do we go above and beyond? Do we leave it at no thanks, and then we just move on? And I'll show you what I mean. Now, I'm not saying when somebody says, I've went with somebody else, thank you for your quote, but this is me not even getting the chance to get out there and get a quote, because people, when they ask these questions on these pages, they're so overwhelmed by the response of the public. I mean, dude, when people ask for like a painter, they'll literally have like 80 comments recommending different painters, and that can be overwhelming. So sometimes you don't get a chance to quote it. Sometimes you don't even get a chance to move forward. So her name was Abby. I said, if you'll shoot me a picture or two of the cabinet, send me the number of doors and drawers, I can get you a quote without having to come out and take a look. See, there's my hook. She just immediately responds. Then, well, not immediately, but the next day. And she says, I went with someone else. So within 24 hours, she has already made a decision, because I always message same day. So within 24 hours, she had already chosen someone else to do the job. So whether she had them come out there and look at it, or whether they must have did the messenger thing as well, and she just went with them over messenger. So I thumbs it up. That's cool. You can't get them all. And then I said, no problem. And I always try to go above and beyond. I said, best of luck. I said, if you have any questions or concerns about their processes or et cetera, please feel free to reach out and I will still help. Thank you. And she said, thank you so much. And people genuinely feel that you care about them. I'm not just in it for the money. If anybody has gives a job to another painter, it's no big deal. Like I said, I don't have time to get all the jobs, but I also don't like leaving money on the table. So if it's there, I'm gonna try to go out and get it. And then once I get it, I'll try to figure something out about how I'm gonna complete it or subcontract it out or something like that. But best of luck, no problem. A lot of people get this message here, and then they don't respond. And I don't know. That just doesn't sit well with me. That's just not who I am as a person. I feel like everybody deserves a response. And so, I want people to get good work done in their house, whether it's me or another contractor. I don't want people to fail. I want all dogs to eat, in my house. I want everybody at the table. And so I'm not saying competition is a bad thing, and I definitely want the work over another company. But, if I can't help it like this, I did what I could to make contact, and she went with someone else. I still hope that everything goes well for her. But if not, I know how intimidating it can be for a contractor to be in your house, and you may not want to confront them. You may have questions, but you're kind of timid or shy to ask because you. A lot of people are very passive. They'll say, they're the professional. I'm just going to leave it to them, and so they just trust, and then they get burned in the end. So my thing is I always offer that olive branch to say, like, if you have a contractor in your house, if you have a painter in your house, and something they're doing doesn't seem right, just send me a message on Messenger and say, hey, they're doing this, and I can give you my opinion on it, on the process or the material or whatever it is, so you can know whether to say something to them or not. It just gives them that extra step before they have to do any confrontation. It's just that little olive branch that I extend to all my customers, and then even people who I don't do work for. So we're kind of wrapping up this, but I just wanted to show you a couple of examples of people that I got out there. And this guy right here, he ended up going with me. He's just got to get it's a condo, and he wants the cabinets done in the condo. He's just got to get enough vacancy for me to be able to get in there and spray the cabinets. I got this job as well, and then this one, like I said, didn't even get a chance to bid the job, but I still wanted to be professional, still wanted to be courteous, and still offer an olive branch to the client. So final thoughts. I mean, I feel like I've kind of hit everything. Customer service is key. How you speak to people, how you word your Facebook emails and comments, I think really matters. I see people just posting on Facebook comments, like they'll just post their number. Somebody will be like looking for a painter, they'll just post their phone number. That person is like 99% never going to call you because there's 30 other comments with phone numbers on there. If you think somebody's going to make 30 phone calls and sift through painters, you're crazy. Or sift through any trade, really. Flooring guys, cabinet installers, sheet rockers. Like they're just not going to do that. So you have to reach out and be proactive, not reactive. Of course, you have to be reactive, wait for them to post. You don't want to bombard those pages, and most of them have rules against it anyway about, self-promotion. Most groups limit their self-promotion that I'm in anyway for Monday. So you can post like one of your ads on Monday, and it'll be approved, and you can promote your business on Monday, and I would suggest doing that as well. But be proactive, reach out, send a DM, send a private message to the potential client, and they'll get a notification of it. And you just got to make it stand out. You got to have a hook. You got to offer something that other people don't. For example, I did I sent a message to a lady about cabinets once again, and I just made mention that my price, when I did give her the quote, this was on the initial email, I said our price includes spraying of the doors and spraying of the frames, because we tape off the whole kitchen, we clean the frames and the doors, and we spray everything. We don't roll anything. And so most people around me, they roll the frames and the doors, and you can't get quite as good of a finish. You can get a pretty good finish with a roller, but you can't get quite as good as it being sprayed. And then I also paint in a higher quality, more expensive paint than most people do around me. So that was my hook. You gotta fill it out. You gotta know what to say, when to say it. But just be proactive. Reach out first, and then professionalism matters. Like I said, how you talk matters. Excuse me. How you word things. How being respectful matters. So, but that's pretty much going to be the end of this lesson. Look out for lesson 3. Lesson 1's on my YouTube channel as well. That's getting licensed and insured, and then this one was about generating leads. So visit me at theeasiestbusiness.com. I'm going to soon launch like a mentorship or like a coaching where I charge, whatever dollar amount I haven't decided on, and I can coach you through. It'll have to be specific to paint, but I can coach you through jobs and talk about what materials to use, what processes to go by, or even if you just want coaching about doing DIY projects in your own house. Visit me at theeasiestbusiness.com. Shoot me your email. I'll shoot you a free proposal template. It's actually the proposal template that I use on a daily basis to bid jobs. And so you can just delete my information in the spreadsheet, put yours in, and you'll have a professional proposal template. Also, come see me at vinylhingecovers.com. It's a revolutionary idea that I had while I was painting door frames. I print vinyl stickers to cover door hinges. You just peel and stick them, paint, peel them and trash them, and you don't have to worry about cutting around the door hinges. So, easiestbusiness.com, vinylhingecovers.com. I want to thank you guys again for checking out my videos, and like I said, just shoot me an email, sign up on one of my forums on my website, theeasiestbusiness.com, and you'll get my official business email, and you can always reach out to me for anything paint related. And if I can answer it over an email, I'll be more than happy to. All right. Thanks, guys.